Yo, what up? It's the Real Boss TV 815. You already know what it is, man. Go ahead, like and subscribe. Look, I got a good one for y'all today, man. And I see that my little post been going viral, so I know y'all gonna check in. We gonna talk about some real facts about this Nolan Wells case. I'm gonna let y'all see what a lot of people are saying and how a lot of people feel about this. I even got somebody from Mississippi chiming in, today, So we're gonna give y'all a little insight on what's going on. Shout out, you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, man. Cause you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, I'm Keisha and I'm from Mississippi. So I got a lot to say on this matter.
Now, the reason why I brought you on here because you are from Mississippi, and we all know that Mississippi has a very, deep background for certain things, you know, and I reckon I know it's just like the other countries like Arkansas. You stay in your lane, right? But
Right,
Nolan was a real you know ambitious kid. And there's nothing wrong with hanging out with you know white folks or anything like that.
right.
And he was out there on the island with his buddies, and they made it home, and he didn't make it back. You feel me?
Right.
He didn't never make it back, and that's the whole problem right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue. He didn't make it.
Issue.
Yeah, he didn't make it back. His friends did, and the story continues to change minute by minute. And
And no matter how you look at it, it don't make sense.
now the thing about this case, what I feel like is so crazy is like right now, this case is just showing you how the game works because these friends, whether they did it or not, they're showing you like when this happened, they lawyered up. And when you see all these lawyers and stuff and you listen to them, you can tell whose side they're on. Nobody is talking about what could have possibly happened to him. They're all just concerned about trying to make sure nobody believes that the friends did anything. Like they're not talking about, and this is why I feel like the case is gonna get it's not gonna get swept on the rug because I understand what Ben Crump and them were doing because they knew a smear campaign was coming. See, they lowered it up. They got on their side because the friends got on their big dog stuff. The friends got one of Trump's lawyers. What do you need all that? What do you need Trump's lawyers for? You see what I'm
If there's
saying?
no power play, right.
And I'm gonna show y'all how all of this lines up to where they're just showing it's not innocent until proven guilty. It's guilty until proven innocent. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that they're doing this, they're defending the ones that look guilty and proving and trying to prove them innocent. They're not worried about what really happened to 'em. Because look, I feel like in this case, now check me out if I'm right or wrong. Even if you're friends, right? Because we kind
Right.
of went through a similar situation. Okay? Let's say I leave my friend right here, right?
Right.
If I'm paying attention to what's going on, so if something happens, I will at least be able to say, "Hey, you might want to check them dudes over." You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you going if it's your friend, you gonna be like, "Yeah, if you left him, when I left him, it was some shady. Like it's like nothing. Like they don't even have a thought process about what happened to him. You see what I mean? Like they not even worried about none of that. Like it's no concern at all.
I see where
That's
you're going with it.
that's the thing that's messing me up because you still gonna be like anybody that's really like your friend, you gonna be like, yeah. Man, when I left him, he was over there by that alleyway, and I did see a strange car. Like you're gonna be like that. This is just natural.
Right.
And I say we went through a similar kind of like, you know, I'm looking now like I'm gonna pull over and look because I feel it. Like you don't right, you don't leave your friends. Even if they're drunk,
Mm.
especially if they're drunk. But the
Right.
thing about it is all the other kids were drunk, they didn't get left. Why Nola
So
got
what
left?
happened? What happened till we come together, we leave together?
I guess they were scared of Nolan and he you see what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like this is the thing. Like we know. Yeah, they have no concern. See, you see what I said? They look if any because if it's your friend, you're still gonna be like, man, I'm gonna be trying to help them. I'm gonna be telling the people, hey, this person looked like that, and that person looked like this. You see what I mean?
Already.
I'm gonna be like, this looks suspicious over here. That looks suspicious. Hey, you might want to check. And then also, he got a beef with Whoop Whoop, and they was there. But it's like, what was? It's none of that. All they're talking about, and look, and they already came with a great defense for this. I'm talking about a fire defense. See, I'm gonna show y'all how the Cajun Navy, they're the ones that help find them. Now you gotta understand the Cajun Navy, they work on that island. They rescue and find bodies. Like they're the ones that find bodies, right?
True. True.
The Cajun Navy, the one do that found them, they're the ones that did their first timeline thing. And this is what he said. He said, and this how you know that that they're in cahoots. At this point, the state is in cahoots. They got everybody scared because why would the Cajun Navy, the people that work there, he said, every time he says something, this is what he says. I'm not an investigator. You always keep that. I ain't an investigator, but was the first thing he said. He said, I'm not an investigator, but I've been on this, doing this for a long time. And he said, him drowning and nobody seeing it, it's not likely with all the people that was out there, right?
At all. I'm telling you.
Then he comes back and says, I'm not an investigator. See, this is the kicker, and I'm for sure this is the thing. I'm not an investigator, but I don't even know how his body washed up on the shore. He ain't bloated.
Mm.
So that this is a person. Okay, you get what I'm saying? This is a person that does this for a living. He finds drowning victims, and he specifically works the island. So he said, I'm not an investigator, but Nolan's body wasn't bloated to float back up on the shore. How did he get back over there at the same spot where they were hanging out at? Let's make it make sense. Science proves. See, okay, so they say once a person drowns, it takes about 72 hours for all the carbon monoxide and all that for the body to bloat and for them to float back up.
True.
Whenever the Cajun Navy started looking for him, that the next day, his body sit on there the next day after no bloating. Doesn't look like a drowned victim. Now, this is how you know they're in cahoots because the kids got on the dude Tatum show and said he's already have a defense for this, and nobody even spoke on this. He said, "Well, his body probably washed up because over there between the islands, it creates a little washing machine effect, and you can get caught way over there, and they can wash him right up before he fully like floats to the bottom and to go through that process." And we're like,
Yeah.
"How do you already know that? How are you already saying this?" And let's not forget the fact that they already lowered up.
For on their friend's death, right?
Yeah, the
No
friend,
details. No details, but a defense.
no details but a defense.
Mm.
And that's what's messing me up because it's like they always, every time some evidence come up, it's like if the autopsy say, well, it looked like it had some red marks around his neck, they go, then the lawyer's gonna say, because it looked like the lawyers are coming in like they're justice for Nolan, right? But when you look at it, all of these people that's speaking on it are the friends lawyers that are
Right.
well known. You got Trump lawyer, they all in cahoots. If the autopsy say he had red marks around his neck, you know what they're gonna say? They say, well, 'cause he probably was drinking, and sometimes people get mad and they choke themselves.
Right.
They always have an excuse.
Or a
You know what
fish
I'm saying?
been nibbling on them or something.
Look, okay, so it was a young woman that came out and said she seen an altercation and yada yada yada. This was the Lord said. Well, for us to take her serious, we gotta figure out was she drunk? Was she just like, why does it matter? Why would you believe the kids? They drunk too. You got footage of them, the kids that you protecting drinking like
Exactly.
mud, and they're underage.
Exactly.
But the first person that come through with some information, so that you see why I say how they showing you how, because you're either on this side or that side. And one person says, "Hey, I seen an altercation and yada yada with Nolan," and the only thing they can say is, "Well, we got to cross-examine her, make sure she wasn't drunk." But
Right.
everybody was drunk on that island.
True.
You know what I mean? Everybody was drunk on the island, so it's very clear the strategy that they're doing. It's very clear. They got, bro. How do you have all these lawyers coming on Nancy Grace and all social media to put a cushion under what's going on? And the
Went big
people that
time.
yeah, and the people that we're watching, they already just like that's their thing. They're coming to debunk every single thing without no facts. They're just going by the kid's word.
Right. And then you know what the thing to me is, they're not even trying. It's like they're not even trying to like to even like figure out what happened to let us know what happened. It's a cover up from the jump. You know,
Yeah,
by lawyering up, no details,
yeah,
going Nancy Grace. You know, I'm talking about going top dog type stuff. If this was your friend, what we need all this for? Now it's a circus.
yeah. It's what they call a smear campaign.
Exactly.
to 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 soften the fall. You know what I mean? Because at this point, nobody's talking about what could have possibly happened to Nolan. Now, the friend, look, and this is so crazy. The friend in the very beginning, he said, "I was calling everybody," and I actually talked to somebody that said they seen him at 6 p.m. Now all the lawyers are saying on Nancy Grace and all these shows, and yeah, we have a witness that said they seen him on 6 p.m. at 6 p.m. But we don't even know if that's true or not. But it's crazy because we can see that the friend orchestrated that because the friend's the one that said they had before we knew they had all these lawyers. Their friend went public and said that somebody seen them, right?
Right.
So now this is my thing: if that's the case, if somebody really seen him, then y'all should get back on y'all job. Because now, if somebody seen him at 6, that even shows more that he probably didn't drown. Who was he with?
Right. It's
Who was
foul
he
play to
kicking it
me.
with? Yeah, if he was still on the island at 6, that lets you know he was still kicking it with somebody. Who was he on the island with? That's the question. But see, these are the questions nobody asking. If he was still on the island, who is he kicking it with? You see what I'm
That'll be the
saying?
thing I want to know. I ain't lying.
Now check this out. This is somebody from Mississippi that had, some things to say about this. Let's check this out. It's the
Yes,
honest
I
to
mean,
God's truth, and I'm going to even post tags where you can go find and listen to it. So here's what happened: they killed Nolan Wells on the boat.
allegedly.
They covered him up with the life jackets. They all knew he was on the boat. They just laid him on the back of the boat and got towed in part of the way. Then they got their boat running and they got on in. And when they got in, they couldn't figure out where they were going to put him or what they were going to do. So they dropped everybody off. Then they went back out to the island that the GPS doesn't show, but they did because they disconnected it. Okay? And none of them had their phones with them when they went back. So there wasn't any trace of them going back. And they dumped the body.
They came back,
allegedly.
took the boat out of the water, then went over there at 3 a.m. and washed the boat, thinking washing the boat would get all the DNA and everything off the boat. That's what they did. I'm telling you, the stories are unbelievable at this point. You can't make this up. You know, first, it was about leaving the island. Well, that one blew.
Allegedly. Everything is allegedly. I do not own the rights to this video. Thank you. All allegedly, but this man is on here telling his story. And you know, the alleged story sounds the most believable out of all the stories that's been told. Now, what he just said, I can believe.
Look, at first, I was like, man, I don't think they just did something to him. I think it could have been an accident. Can you? I thought at first I thought it was they didn't do nothing to him. I thought it could be an accident, and they just don't want no parts in it. But at this point, it's one of the two. Either they actually did something, or it really is a was a accident, and they just know that they're gonna end up getting some kind of criminal negligence charge.
I mean,
You
we
know what
know
I mean?
accidents happen. Yeah, I feel it. Accidents do happen, but if this was your friend and an accident happened, when you want the world to know or whatever's going on, you want somebody to know that hey, this was an accident. We don't need all these lawyers, all these newscasts. We don't need all this.
Well, because their story was falling apart, and then
That's the
they
point.
couldn't make up a good and see, and then you know how you can trick yourself, like in their minds, like if it is an accident, in their minds they know it, and they let's just say if it is an accident, in their minds they know it, and they feel like you know we know it's an accident, and they don't believe that there should be any turmoil behind it. Hey, it was, you see what I'm saying? Like, if it was an accident, they in their mind they feel like you know it shouldn't be nothing behind it. You feel me?
I follow you, but if it's an accident, we're gonna let it be known exactly this is what happened.
Well,
We don't
because
need all these
they're still
two, three,
gonna
four,
go,
five, six.
they're still gonna go to jail if it was an accident. It's criminal negligence. They were
I
drinking,
mean, hey,
controlling
but this was
boats. They didn't render aid. They left. They lied. It's a whole bunch of charges can come behind that. You know what I mean?
exactly, but that's why you're supposed to do the right thing. You're supposed to do it whether you one race or another. So I mean, if it caused them to go to jail, then for negligence, then that's what it is. See, it's a type of thing where it's like it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem
There's a
when I do it.
problem.
Not trying to pull a race card, not trying. I don't
Yeah,
pull the
it's
race
not
card, but that's what it looked like.
right. And see,
So
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
no, so I'm saying like, and if the parents and the justice system, the defense, if all of them know what really happened and they're not doing it, all they're doing is creating more messed up people in the world. Because how they think these kids gonna live to be law-abiding citizens, pillars of the community, gonna live their life just regular normal life. They not. That's gonna create. You already got the murder on your mind or whatever, allegedly, whatever happened. So I mean, and they say they had you in kindergarten standing up saying the Pledge of Allegiance. They said justice for all. What happened to it? No, I'm just being honest. What
Right,
happened to it?
right. And look, and that's why I say I'm not saying it's an accident. I'm saying let's play devil's advocate. Let's play the game.
Right. I
Let's
feel
say
you.
if it was an accident. You know what I mean? It's so many reasons why they're gonna cover it up. No matter what happened,
But the
it's
crazy
gonna be
part is
covered up.
the cover up makes you look even more guiltier. And now
But
you
not
causing even more
see,
chaos in the world,
but
in the
see,
United States.
that's why I say the game is exposed. Okay, think about this. If you're in court and the people that are trying you have already made a decision, and they eat dinner with each other, and they do this, it's not much evidence that you can present to change nothing. It's already a done deal. You get what I'm saying?
I did
So
that.
that's why I say when you look at it, they have already strategically orchestrated this whole smear campaign to make it look like what they want to. And if the people in the higher places that got the authority to do things believe them, then that's what it is. You see what I'm saying? They jumped in front of it before it even hit the fan. They already had a lot. Now that's why I say, who told them kids to do that? That's how you know something happened because these kids, they're kids. They're not smart enough to go get Trump lawyer and all. They didn't do that.
Right,
They told somebody what happened,
right,
and somebody said, "Okay, we got you." That's what. See, this is the whole. This is how you win. It's showing you how you win. You get
right.
ahead of the game. These kids got more lawyers than Nolan mama do.
They do damage control.
Yeah, they got more lawyers than Nolan mama do. They got all type of lawyers sitting there waiting on clients. They got big, they came in with that. And the thing about it is, you don't even need that if you innocent.
Exactly. And they showing that they was holding withholding evidence from the family. I was reading some with the Black Caucus and stuff. If it's not foul play and it was an accident, what is the withholding evidence for?
Right. And then you say, I was calling, when it happened, I was calling everybody. I didn't know Katie was just calling everybody. You was doing your research. What happened to your research? Because at the end of the day, y'all are the only ones that will know if it was anything suspicious or funny going on when you left. Y'all the
Right.
only ones that can say, "Hey, he was hanging out over there with with Woo Whoop and them." Y'all the only ones that can say it. Why y'all they're trying to make Horn Island look like Disney World. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They're
I
trying to
feel
make
you.
it look like ain't no way nothing can happen over here. But if everything you say is true, you left your friend with some people you said because everybody knows everybody. What happened to everybody knows everybody? What happens?
Right.
Yeah, we figured he could just get a ride because everybody knows so who he could have been with. If he was out there at 6, who he could have been drinking with and hanging out with. There's no way you're
True.
gonna tell me that he just said, "Yeah, y'all go ahead and go, and I'm gonna go find my own little spot in the water and chill and drink by myself."
Out here on the island, I ain't got no boat.
If you're saying, look, this is so contradicting. If you're saying he was there at 6, that means he was seen. So
Facts.
somebody's seen what happened to him
Facts.
because you just said he was seen.
Facts. See what they trying to do is
What's
feed
up,
us rocks and
Isabella?
call it. They trying to feed us rocks and call it caviar because. And when they said they went back to the island, you mean everybody left their phone? Ain't nobody thought to bring their phone to go out there. It don't make sense.
The- if you're saying that you spoke to somebody that seen him at 6 o'clock, then that means somebody's seen what happened to him because
Exactly.
that that contradicts the story to where nobody. No, because they said we didn't even see him since 3:30, and they didn't even leave till 4:30.
Right.
We didn't even see him no more. And how is that possible? How is that possible that you ain't seen him no more since 3:30? You left at 4. but you called around and somebody you know said they seen him at 6, but you didn't see him no more right there where
Right.
y'all were at.
Hmm. Somebody ain't got their game tight.
Who you lying to?
Right. They
Who
think
you
they can
like?
just tell you anything
And that what people do whenever they in the run, they tell you whatever.
because they got the backup. That's why.
They got and they're showing you. And this is the thing, they're showing you they got the backup. They got lawyers going live on Nancy Grace, Officer Taylor, all this stuff every day, saying, "Yep, nope, nope, yep, you can't prove that, you can't prove it." And it ain't even about proving that. It's about proving like you definitely know something, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
My
You
point.
definitely know something.
Yes.
You definitely know something. And that's the thing. It's not no way that you can't know something. If your story is true, if you say we go out there all the time and
Hmm.
we know everybody out there, like that's like, but you don't know nothing now. Ain't that convenient? You know everybody out there. You do. You go out there all the time, and nothing never happened all the time. I mean, you say Nolan's very aware of the island, but now you don't know anything. You can't even tell us if it was a shady crowd over there on the right or nothing. No,
Right.
we was just worried about the boat, and that don't even make sense. If anything,
Right.
it sounded like you got mad and left that nigga stranded. For real. That's what it sounds like. If push come to shove, and that's what part you got mad. Y'all, cause the boat, whatever was going on with the boat, and you were yelling at him, and he was doing his thing, talking to, and y'all were like, F him. Skirt.
Sound about right. Because you
Now,
know what? If everything is to be proven that this can't be proven or you can't prove that, instead of saying, hey, this is a young promising life that has been lost. So let's find out what happened.
hmm
But it's everything is on the reverse. That ain't even
yep,
the issue about this is a young promising life. Not what kind of not a young promising black life, but a young promising life that's
yeah,
lost.
a
You
young,
know,
a young one. And now, this is one thing that I looked up. Is they said it's so there's so many situations, right? But if you go by the kid's timeline, this is what they said. He was talking to Katie. They were like, "Yo, Nolan, get on the damn boat, get on the boat." And he smiled and he spoke to Katie. Katie said that he said he's finna go get on the boat, right?
right, right, right.
But see, this on, but then you left. Now, this is the thing that makes it so crazy when you think about it. Okay, when they was getting their boat towed, they were moving at 4 knots. That's 4 miles per hour. That's like a fast walking speed. Now, by the general eye, it on the water, it looks like that boat's still sitting there because you're moving so slow. And
Right.
if he was trying to swim to y'all and y'all were like, you see what I'm saying, or anything,
I
because look at
follow
this.
you.
One thing we know, he had to swim to y'all to get to y'all. You see what I'm
I mean,
saying?
he was visible the whole time.
Yeah, right. And your boat is moving at 4 knots. And I looked this up by science. On the water, that's very slow, like it's a slow walking pace. So from a distance, it looks like the boat is not moving. So if he tried to swim out there, by the time he gets there, oh, the boat is further away and it's further away. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's
I,
moving. Now, this is the really thing, like this is GPS coordinates. They said really happened. The boat took off at 4 knots, 4 miles per hour. On the
mhm.
water, that looks like it's just sitting there. Because you know how the
Right,
water moves? It looks like it's
right,
just sitting there. So if he looked at them out there and they tell him to come on, he said, and he's trying to come to them, he's chasing something that's already left him.
right.
Now that's the thing. That's something that you got to think about. And at some point, they probably could have seen him getting swept away.
Because that water ain't no easy fight.
Right. And in their mind, hey, it ain't like we can turn. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
Ain't like we can turn around because this is a fact. Katie said, no, he did not say he was staying with me. He turned around and walked off to come towards y'all out there in the water. And I had no thought that no belief that y'all would have left him. And this boat. So when you okay, imagine you looking at the boat like, okay, I'm finna swim over there, finna go with the guys, and it
yeah,
doesn't look like it's moving. You get out there, and when you get out there, it's further away, but it don't look.
yeah.
You show it's moving so slow. It's moving at a slow as a mild walking pace.
Right, because that's something that I can't catch.
It can't catch on the water, yeah. And you are, and he's trying to catch up to it. You see what I'm saying?
I'll follow
If
you.
anything, he's trying to because and only reason why I'm saying that because I'm talking about the facts of the GPS and the all of that. They said that it is true. They did leave. That they have that as facts on that particular boat. Did leave at 4:37 at 4 knots, and it says 4 knots is so slow. Like if you're sitting on the island, that boat looked like it's still just sitting there, but it's because it's going very slow. Like you see what I'm saying? Like now, I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying this is the facts. Now look at this. This is where the Cajun Navy was saying, which they're suppressing. You know, the typical accidental drowning, a body sinks immediately because the lungs fill with heavy water. It normally takes
Right,
like 24 to 72 hours in warm summer water for internal bacteria to produce enough gas to bloat the body and force it to float to surface again. However, officials from the United Cajun Navy, this is a volunteer search organization that be out there and save people on all three of those islands, publicly noted that when Nolan's body was discovered on the morning of July 6th, he did not appear to be bloated at all because he lacked the gas induced bloating required for natural scientific buoyancy. The traditional sank, bloated, and then floated up timeline does not clearly apply here. So, how did he get back on the shore where they was hanging out at? Because we not finna defy science.
exactly.
We're
You
not
can't
gonna
argue with
do that.
facts.
And this is the same people that said, "Hey," because the police probably already told them, "Don't get involved in our investigation." You know how that goes. You see how I'm saying? What side you on? And these are the people that said they only said a few things. They said, but every time they said it, this is what they said. Hey, I'm not an investigator, but because they gotta put see who are they giving the disclaimer to?
Right,
This is the case. These are the people that helped find his body, the first responders that seen his body. Who are they giving a disclaimer to? Why are they saying every time somebody, every time, well, I'm not an investigator. This is like it's not because they're getting intimidated too. Stay out the
right,
way. Stay
right.
out of our case, man. For real. This ain't nothing that is mind boggling. You know how this go. You looking at it. If this was a whole different situation, it'd be way different. Like they be on there like, man, I know he didn't drown.
That's what I said. The roles was reversed. They'll be going investigating people, interrogating people that was 100 miles away from them. And that's the thing.
Even the Cajun Navy, the people that find bodies all the time,
I'm not an
said they
investigator,
don't.
but
Uh,
some
there ain't
foul
no
play.
way.
When you say it
Ain't no
like that,
way.
with that but
Ain't
let you know. Something ain't
Ain't
right.
no ain't no way he drowned. That's what he said. He said, ain't no way. And these are people that really lived this. They find bodies. They were out there. Look at this. This is so crazy. They was out there. Look at this. 4th of July, he ends up missing. On the 5th, and I want to say the friends said they came back out there to look. Uh, you know, uh, on the 5th, they got airplanes, boats, everything all out there. Which, if it was some foul play, that caused some panic. Then the next day, early in the morning, he face down right there where they was kicking it at.
Right. And that's what I was saying when the friends said they went back. Remember they said everybody left their phone, nobody had a phone. How? That doesn't even make sense. Y'all went back to look for y'all's friend, but nobody thought of communication out here on the island. Make that make sense.
But
Everything
see,
that every story that's been told that I've heard on that side of the field, I can't. I try to make sense of it. I can't. Even if you put all the stories together and take bits, it don't even go together. None of it, except they was on the island together. That's it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and the thing about it is, all these other people are here to convince us that we ain't stupid. No, no, no. Yeah, he did drown. I know it sounds crazy, but he did. Like, I can't understand how. Like, this is the thing. If I, it don't matter if that's my cousin. If I go get a lawyer, I look guilty in all the police eyes. They not even
Yeah,
gonna let me go home. They be like, oh, you got. That's gonna piss them off so bad that your ass went and got a lawyer, and so we can't interview you like the way we want to.
true.
Don't they look at this? Don't they
Mm,
hate it when you say talk to my lawyer?
right. To them, it's damn near incriminating yourself.
Right, and it's an insult to them because you messing up their interrogation because they
Hmm.
can't even ask you no questions. So they're gonna be like, oh, this we already. They're gonna say we already knew something was wrong because he already got a lawyer.
That part.
But when they got a lawyer, you know what they're saying? Well, it's kind of smart because they're just protecting their image and they did the right thing by getting lawyers and getting Trump lawyer and getting all these lawyers because these kids are great. Man, look at this. All you keep on talking about is how outstanding citizens they are. We don't give a damn about that, man.
I ain't
It's a
lying
lot of
nothing about it.
outstanding citizens, man. That's all y'all ain't even talking about no. And these great kids of Ocean Springs, man, shut up and tell us what happened to Nolan.
Right.
Because I know for a fact, and see, this is why I was thinking like, well, whoever's giving them, Al Sharpton and all them, they need to just get like 5 private investigators to go get down in that city. But you know what? I don't think nobody would do it. Now let that
Not in
sink
that
for a minute.
area.
I'm gonna let you talk to like think what I just said. Hold on, I'm finna grab something, but think about what I just said. I don't think nobody would take the job. Not out there, not in
Not in that
Mississippi,
area.
not when they
Not
know
in.
it's something going on. But I'm gonna be right back. Watch. I don't
Cause
think
one
that would
thing
take.
about it, down in that area, oh, they gonna stick together. That them people there, and not being racist, but that in that community, oh, they sticking together. No matter whether it's, I mean, a young black youth, old black person, those white people gonna stick together, foul play or not, in that area. Nobody's gonna speak up and say, "Hey, this is what actually happened," or I heard Jimmy Bob say, or Sarah say that Nolan friends they had an altercation, or there was a fight, or there was a dispute, and he accidentally got harmed or hurt or whatever. They ain't gonna say, even if it was an accident, they not gonna speak on it. Not in down that area. That area is predominantly white. You got all races everywhere, but down there, and the whole state is still kind of. It's still racism everywhere, it's just not in the forefront like it used to be. And you can have all the white friends you want, but once something goes wrong, and excuse my French, now you still a nigga. I mean, we was cool with you, but shit ain't right no more. So you a nigga again. You know, it don't make sense.
Right. And look, I don't believe they would do it because you know what happened is they got to police themselves, and that would open up a lot of other things, a lot of
Man, a
other
can of
corruption.
worm, man, boy, they open a
Yeah,
can
it's
of worm.
gonna open up if somebody get out there and got to get to asking questions. It's gonna, oh yeah, that's just like think about this. In the hood, why you think nobody called the police?
Ain't nobody seen that.
When the police come over there looking for woo woo, that's why in the hood they be like, man, don't bring no BS around here, cause there's already other people doing dirt over here, and you gonna bring the police over here and get woo woo and them caught up,
Hmm.
man. You see what I'm saying? It's the same way. It's not no different. You
True.
bring all them investigators over there, it's gonna unravel some things, and
So
they're
I'm
not finna
telling
let
you,
that happen.
for
They
old
not
and new,
finna let that happen.
for old and new
Hmm.
down there.
Right, man. Look at this. This whole thing is just like the streets. It's just the streets with a little more money, and it's a different level of it. You know,
That's it, right?
it's
That's
that's
it.
all it is. This is a
You
different
hit the nail
level.
on the head with that one.
Yeah, they run it just like, yeah. Can't nobody come out here and police our city, because if you do, you stepping on the wrong toes. Just like when you come in the hood, when new people come in the hood, they watch them, and then something go on, and that's why they tell all the people that's doing dumb stuff, hey, move out the way, because if you bring heat over here, then they're gonna find out other things. So that's the whole element of a cover up is. That's what a cover up is. It's not
Right.
so much about covering up just the crime, it's covering up the whole well being of the, you see what I'm saying? It's
Right.
covering up a lot, because we can't let you do that. We Cause you come over here, you gonna see the person that stole all them Gucci bags for woo, you gonna find out all this stuff knocking, like searching, right?
Stuff you weren't even looking for.
Right. That's why they always tell you look this. Why you think whenever you be in a spot you ain't supposed to, they be tell you to turn around, because you finna find some shit that you ain't supposed to see.
Yeah.
What they tell you, you ain't, man, you ask for directions. Hey, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get out of here. You feel me?
Right.
Because you finna run into some stuff you ain't supposed to see, and we ain't finna expose what the other hand is holding. Like it's a domino effect. Once that happens, you already know what's gonna happen after that. It's not even a it's not even a conspiracy. Like people that believe the conspiracy is already what it is. We know it's a lot of stuff going on everywhere, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We know it's a lot of things going on everywhere. And a lot of things, is under the rug. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
A
in
lot
them
of
little hick towns like that, everybody knows everybody. Everybody grew up
yeah.
with everybody, and they're not gonna go at right or wrong. They gonna right or wrong. They gonna stand. The sheriff, the
Yeah,
deputy,
because
everybody
we don't
on
we
one
don't need
accord.
nobody. We don't need, because they don't need nobody in their business with the dirt they doing, because you're gonna get other people caught up.
Right.
See, that's the thing. You gonna get other people caught up while you investigating that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, all the drug dealers gotta sell their dope and all. You see what I'm saying? And then y'all got people over here messing up our motion. You feel me?
I feel it.
You got people over here messing up, like, the whole motion.
They're gonna jam the whole motion. Exactly.
Yeah, they going because it's already stuff going on out here. You see what I'm saying? We already got some stuff popping. We can't we can't let y'all over here and see what's going on. You see what I'm saying? Like it can't be like that. And that's the whole thing. See, a cover up is not just covering up. one thing. It's covering up a lot of things.
Right. In this situation, the basic cover up was we all united until Nolan came up unalive. That's
Right,
the cover up down there.
because this type of attention, that's why they have to hurry up and do a smear campaign. Because this type of attention brings too much. It brings too much attention to the city, and now you finding all type of things out about Mississippi. You know,
Yeah.
investigators running around. They end up running around in some other dead bodies. That ain't, and now it's something more bigger than another Wells case. It's bigger than the Nolan Wells case. You feel me?
Right.
It's way bigger
Right.
than that. You know, you know why they say you don't go slooping around. You might find something you don't want to
You
see.
ain't looking for, I'm telling you, every time. But then the thing is, when they went and got all them big lawyers like the Trump lawyers, that's what gonna bring the heat to them. So they weren't thinking like that. So now you got the Black Caucus. You got believe every black organization finna come down and they got to find out. We got to know what happened. So you
Mm.
really brought the heat to you by going to get these top lawyers. What we need all that for?
Right.
What's all that for?
No, but that's the powers that be. That's the smear campaign
Exactly. But they ain't
because
thinking.
they always gonna look. They're gonna always go for the higher. You know what I mean? Because these people words mean more than ours.
Yeah. So
You
they
see what I'm
say.
saying? They
Yeah.
words mean way more. If they say, "Hey, they didn't do it," it means something.
Mm,
It's just like the judge and the jury. There's nobody over them.
right.
If you got 12, you know what I'm saying, and they already believe, like who changes their beliefs? You know what I mean? Who
That
changes?
mean green.
Yeah, yeah.
That mean green.
So you can't even fix. You can't change that. Now, what Crumpin is trying to do, I respect it because they're saying, hey, we want to get a, a thorough, regular investigation, no bias investigation. We want to have the opportunity because that's showing because they know it's corrupt. So we want somebody that's not from Mississippi and everything. We not finna do it with y'all. We already know. We're not finna give the phone to y'all. And when we do, we're all gonna sit down and go through it because we want a fair investigation.
Right.
And why do you think they gotta do that? Because they already seen the play.
Right. That's
Crump is
true.
a lawyer. He's seen these kids got lawyers and lawyers probably calling him. You see what I'm saying? You think the lawyers ain't talking to investigators? They're lawyers. They didn't talk.
Hmm.
They know what's going on, and they all trying to make it look good. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. You feel me? Nothing
I
more,
feel
nothing less. Let's see what they're saying right here about this dude Warren.
From Nolan. She said no. And I said, all right, well, don't freak out. I'm going to.
For once, both stories actually line up.
Phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? As I'm being told by his friends, like, oh, don't worry. Like, we're going to find him. It's going to be okay. Absolutely not. Don't ever tell a parent that. Don't ever tell a parent,
Right.
like, you call me and tell me my child is missing. And then it's, oh, well, it's going to be okay. Like, we're going to find.
He calls the Coast Guard, gives him all the details, and then this is his reason why he calls the Coast Guard at this time.
Made you concerned enough that you felt like you couldn't weigh it out anymore. You had to call the Coast Guard.
Well, I mean, like I said, my friends and I have been on the water our whole life.
Right.
Stuff happens.
Stuff happens.
People die all the time. I know people that have died out there.
Yeah.
And, it's a fun place to be, but it's also very, very dangerous.
So you mean to tell me you call the Coast Guard because your best friend is missing? You already confirmed.
Look, he called the Coast Guard. That was just to cover his tracks. That was just an alibi. Oh, I called the Coast Guard. So, dude, you wasn't concerned with him the whole day and the night.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, when people call it, oh, I'll go call the Coast Guard. And it's so funny. He's doing all this, but nobody else called the Coast Guard. Hey, you watch it. You hear what his reason why? Oh, I'll call the Coast Guard because
Because the Coast
you
Guard supposed to
know.
be called
What he
immediately.
said? He said because we be out here all the time. I know people die out there and all that. But okay, now let me ask you this. Look at this. Look, I'm finna hit it on the head. I might have to clip this, right? You heard what he said. Well, because people die out there, and woo, woo, woo. We gonna run it back. Hold on, we gonna run that back. Look at this. Look at it. Listen to this.
Say Nolan. As I'm being told by his friends, like, oh, don't.
I asked her if she had heard from Nolan. She said no. And I said, all right, well, don't freak out. I'm going to.
For once, both stories actually line up.
Phone call from Warren. I immediately called my friend Tashima and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? As I'm being told by his friends, like, oh, don't worry. Like, you know, we're going to find him. It's going to be okay. Absolutely not. Don't ever tell a parent that. Don't ever tell a parent, like, you call me and tell me my child is missing. And then it's, oh, well, you know, it's going to be okay. Like, we're going to find.
He calls the Coast Guard, gives him all the details, and then this is his reason why he calls the Coast Guard
This is
at this
reason
time.
right
Made
here.
you concerned enough that you felt like you couldn't weigh it out anymore. You had to call the Coast Guard.
Well, I mean, like I said, my friends and I have been on the water our whole life. Stuff happens. People die all the time. I know people that have died out there. And, you know, it's a fun place to be, but it's also very, very dangerous.
You heard that, right?
Yeah, he
All of
said
y'all heard that.
people die all the time
It's very,
out
very
there.
dangerous.
Yeah.
But before that, you said we left him because it's nothing for to leave somebody out there and they catch your ride and it's so friendly. But now you're saying it's dangerous. So if it was so dangerous, why would you leave him?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I
Now it's
feel I
so
feel it.
dangerous. Now it's so dangerous.
Everything he said was so contradictory.
Hello, who I got out here? Who is this? That's my kinfolk. Hey, look, anybody, look, if you're not on no crazy stuff, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat and you can join. Look at this. That's so contradicting. That's like saying, man, we be in South Dallas all the time. It's all love. And sometimes I'll just drop my partner off and he called me. I might give him an Uber because it's all love. And then you turn around and say, I call the Coast Guard because I know it's dangerous out there. I've seen people die all the time. Why would you leave him out there?
That part.
If that's see everything they say contradicts the next thing they say.
And not just leave him out there. Wait, how long later to get help?
Almost 2 days to
Shit.
to
Make it make
to
sense.
like it's nighttime when he's called. It's the next you calling the Coast Guard saying, and this is because everybody's asking, like,
Right.
yeah, they saying I'm pretty sure his mom calling everybody, and they call him and say, hey, bro, you know, because his story is they were out chilling at a house, and he went upstairs to talk to an older cat, and when he came down, he was he heard everybody talking about Nolan. He's like, well, where's Nolan at? And then he said, we don't know. And then he called the Coast Guard. But I think he went upstairs and talked to the older cat to tell him, like, hey, this is going on. What can we do?
Give a little advice. Exactly.
Right? Because there's no way that you're doubling back and saying, because they asked him, what made you call the Coast Guard so soon? Because I know it's dangerous out there and I seen people die all the time. But you left them in a place like that. But at first you said, well, we left them because it's nothing for we do it all the time. People just leave and they can hop on a ride with somebody else and all that. But now you're saying it's dangerous. That doesn't make
Right.
any sense, does it?
Right.
Like, come on, man. Everything they say is
So you mean to
contradictory.
tell me you call the Coast Guard because your best friend is missing? You already confirmed that Katie was not with him. And remember, this was July 4th. Remember, everybody was still out. You've got the boats, you've got the friends, you've got the people celebrating 4th of July. You just got off the phone with Nolan's mom. So instead of doing like an all night type of search, your response is this.
Assume you wake up the next day, and then what happens?
I wake up the next day at about 7:30, and my dad had texted me because obviously Nolan's photo was all over Facebook, and you know, I just saw it everywhere, and I was freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, like you know, I assumed Nolan's just we had been drinking all day, and like
The
that
lies.
he's just sleeping somewhere, and that he's okay, but I didn't want to. I called her a second time, and I got on the phone with her, and I asked her if she had heard from Nolan. She said no. And I said, all right, well, don't freak out. I'm going to.
For once,
I mean, you see where we're going with this?
Oh, I see.
You see where it's going? It's like, man, everything that you're saying is contradicting the other
Right.
hand. Like,
He's trying to run circles around us, but he running them around himself.
and that's the reason why people are pointing a finger at you. It's not because you're white.
Right,
It's
right.
because the shit that you're saying
Color ain't
is
got
not
nothing to do with
right.
it.
Yeah, it's because what you're
It ain't
saying
got
is
nothing to
not
do with
right,
it.
and it
Right,
ain't making no sense, and people do not like it. This is the thing. It's not. It was never because you're white. It's because your stories don't make sense. And you know what? This is the thing. This is the thing that I want to point out. I think it's gonna have somebody else join her. This is the thing that I want to point out. Per se, the evidence and everything that's going on, they're basically saying like, okay, so it was 4 boats, right?
yeah.
All the boats left. Everybody left him by himself. And there had to be now, I don't think it's a good enough reason to do that, but that's just a fact. Everybody left. It was none of unless he knew somebody else, you see what I mean?
Right.
Everybody that he came with left
And if all
around
the
the
boats
same
were
time.
gone, I mean, if all 4 boats gone, why would he stay?
But the question is, right? Yeah, why would he stay? And also reverse, why would all the boats leave? Because if he's
Exactly.
supposed to catch a ride, why would they all leave? And this is the fourth. Look, and the thing about this is the 4th of July. This is
Hmm.
supposed to be the biggest party ever.
Right.
Why would you leave so early? Why everybody leave? They boats wasn't messing up. Everybody left but Nolan. Like all the friends said, okay, your boat messing up, so we're all going. And Nolan's the only one that said, I ain't going with none of y'all.
Right.
All of them came, all of them met up on 4 different boats, right? Look, they have footage of that. All of them meeting up from the dock on 4 different boats. And every boat went there, they all went together, they all drinking, and all of them left at the same time. But Nolan's the only one that said, I ain't leaving with none of y'all. Shoot, I'm staying. For to stay and kick it by myself, drink by myself, and swim by myself.
Right.
And I'll figure out a way without a phone and everything. I'll figure out a way. You know that doesn't make any sense. If anything, he would have had his phone, right? Make that make sense.
And would you explain it like that with all 4 boats leaving around the same time? That
Yeah,
means more than his friends know what happened.
right. All of them left.
Unless, unless, like the other guy said, they had them on the boat already covered. You know what I'm saying? They was had them
Yeah.
hidden
Hold on. I mean, now
allegedly.
look, listen. I ain't
Hmm.
gonna say that. Hey, Renzo, go ahead. You've been listening. What are your thoughts? Well, hear what she said. Unless now that would be a great reason for everybody to leave at the same thing. We all got to get out of here. buddy. You know what I'm saying? We all gotta leave. You see what I'm saying? Because ain't that what happened? Everybody run off when something happened, don't they? And then the lady said she seen them boats taking off fast.
Cause it sounds like they got on down like Sophia here Hoppo. Everybody just scattered. Cause all y'all leaving at the same time from the biggest part of the 4th of July.
Every
But
boat left. Everybody left.
I'm trying to tell you.
Make that
But it's
make
just
sense.
sad because it's all about trying to prove innocence instead of trying to, you know, find a solution to actually find out what happened to this child. To clear
Man.
his family and friends, get him a peace of mind. And then playing on his mama top like that by calling her, have you seen Nolan when you know damn well she ain't seen her son?
Look at this. Look at this. Let's go back. I always try to hit stuff on some real facts. When a person steal from you, what they do? They come back the next day and help you look for it.
Help you, man. What?
Yeah, they come and they put
Witness.
in work with you. They call people
Witness.
for you. Look, don't they call people right? Hey, bro, I know, bro, you was over here. Did you steal that from Woo Woo? Did you? Yeah, they sound like that's exactly what they did. They called everybody. They called everybody. They call everybody. You know what I'm saying?
They
Don't
try
they
to
do
jump
that?
in front of it. Yep,
Don't they do that? Like
they do
I've
it.
been in a
Witness.
situation and I know the nigga stole. He don't even know I know. I know the dude stole from me, and he set him up. He came over. I knew he was gonna do that because came over, tried to smoke with us, chill. You know what I'm saying? All that, help us look for it. But I already know he took it. You know why? Cause I watched him do it. You feel me? I acted like I left the room and I peeked through the crack of the door, and I seen him do it.
I'm a
And I
witness
pretended,
to the
and I
same thing.
pretended like I didn't know,
Mhm.
and I let him do his thing. And then everybody like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I'm finna grab something real quick. I'm gonna let you chime in on that part. Like you can talk, because you from Mississippi, man, and these are they my kinfolk. We from Arkansas. We know we knew to stay in our lane.
Right. So
Yeah,
we pretty much
I
in the
used to,
same boat,
yeah,
Mississippi and Arkansas.
I used to have a lot of white friends, and I learned that you can't. It's better to have them come over to us, to the hood, to go try
Right.
to hang out with them, and that's facts. I've been in a situation where I was a kid, and I with my white friends from school. Their parents love me. They told me I'm over their crib at the playground. They were around a bunch of that, pop, pop, shooting in there, doom, 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 doom. Like we kids like to scare us, like let us know we're not welcome around it. And then my friends, that's white, mom called the police on them, and the police came and they told the police this is our land that we're on. We can shoot if we want to. And the police came over there and told my friend's mom, yeah, they are right. That is their land. And the police told me, hey, I mean, you can kick it with your friends, but y'all just find some other place to go because their land is over there. They're just shooting their land over there like half a mile away, shooting in the air, to scare us. And the police can't do nothing about that because that's their land. The park is in the middle of it. And they told us to just kick it, y'all good, but just kick it somewhere else. And my white friend's mom was very upset. She was cussing the police out, but what can you do? This is in
She was
Arkansas.
in,
This is in Arkansas.
yeah.
Where I was kid. So I'm just saying this to say I'm not even saying I'm not even trying to say that the kids did it. But I just know that there's a certain fear that lingers too. If the kids know something, they probably gonna say nothing because it's already things that has been allowed in history
Right.
out there, and you
Right.
can't get in between it.
Right.
My kinfolk know about it too. You riding your bike, they be like, hey young man, I don't know where you're going, but you need to get back where you came from. And there's nowhere around that. And if you don't know about it, then you don't know about it. You're privileged. You live out here in the suburbs. You never seen it. But even out here in the suburbs, I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, it's still relevant. And I think
Right,
it's just something bigger that's going on. And motherfuckers are scared, man. I mean, they don't want to get in between it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, of course they know. They was there. They know what happened. You can't say I didn't. Last time I seen him was at 3 o'clock. He came with you. Y'all right there. I'm gonna show the video of this. They're hanging right here. How you not see him no more?
mm,
That's the lie between the lie. Y'all all came together. You ain't seen him since 3. This ain't even like he don't gotta go away like this. The party is right here.
right. And I'm not gonna kick it with my friends that I came here with. I'm just gonna go roll over here on the island.
That that's like saying y'all all kicking it in a big house and you just never seen your friend no more for hours, and there's nowhere else to go.
Shut up, man.
It's a big old house. Where your friends gonna go? But hold on one second. Let me grab something real quick. What's up, Kinfo? You still on there? He got his mic. Try to see if my partner pull up.
But they causing more harm than good. But this ain't the stiffness, the sixes, none of that. Niggas ain't playing no more. It's too many lives. And I hate to keep saying like black lives, any life, and especially you. The way this is going is just too it's too much and it's too many. Ain't nobody playing no more. Instead of trying to cover it up, just go and let this lady know what happened to her son. And we can go ahead and be where it ain't gonna be at ease, but it will ease some of the pain and frustration off her. And who he left with, man, come on. That's a hard thing. That's heavy on the heart right there. I got grown kids. And I don't care how old they is. Once they leave out, they on your heart. And this lady never see her son again. Now she got to deal with his birthday just passed yesterday. All this extra stuff. Making it harder and harder day by day. Day by day.
Yeah, I'm back. But look, to,
Very
to me,
frustrating.
I'm looking at it like this. Let's say we all at the movies, right?
Right.
I ain't seen you since the movie started. Ain't that already concerning? Like if you ain't seen him since 3 o'clock and y'all leaving at 4, ain't that kind of little concerning too? Like you don't want
Yeah.
to say bye or make sure he's good before you leave. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Right.
What's up, Cassandra? Let's see. Go ahead, drop a little input on how you feel about it. Like I know this is a viral case that's going on. Almost everybody knows what's going on. Nolan Wells left with his friends, 18 years old, uh, on the island. Everybody, 4 boats deep. Every boat comes home. Everybody makes it back home. Up to 30 people, and he doesn't. He doesn't make it back. They said that he decided to stay by himself on the island. You got to unmute your mic if you're talking. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is the thing I hate when people try to play. You said, look at this. He can't look. At first, everybody was only focused on the 4 dudes in one boat, but now they're saying it was 4 boats who had 30 people, and he's the only one that said, "Hey, I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna stay." You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I'm gonna
I'm
stay over here.
concerned.
Hmm?
I'm concerned with the female that he was conversating with. What was that conversation like? Hey, I gotta go, or
Yeah,
was she just holding his interest? Like
nah,
I
she
couldn't
has
imagine
she
some.
she came out publicly. before the kids got low. She came and said, "Hey man, what are y'all talking about, man? He." She said, "I heard y'all yelling from way over there. And he told me he's finna go and with y'all, and I went to my boat, and I never seen him again." And facts. And she is cool with the mom. She's talked to you. See what I'm saying? She went straight against them kids. And the thing about it is, what she's saying makes way more sense. Makes way more sense than what
But
they're
it's
saying.
a time frame from when she left him to go get on her boat to saying bye to him getting on his boat. Like, what
She
does that
didn't.
look like?
She didn't. She didn't leave him. Like, see, they said it too. They made it. See, they said they were yelling, "Nolan, get on the fucking boat, get on the boat." And she said, "Yeah, I heard them friends yelling at him to get on the boat." And he said, "Okay," to me. "All right, talk to you later. I'm finna go with the guys. We're finna leave." And she watched him walking off towards the water, going towards them, and she went to her boat, and she said, "What? Mm-mm, mm-mm." She said that didn't
So,
happen.
so was it a sick joke? Like, okay, we're in the boat and we're moving, but we don't know if you can swim fast enough. Let's see you try to make it to us.
I I mean, it's possible, but what I do know, they were drunk and it was upset about the fight and whatever was going on, and the boat was having problems, and it could have been an argument, and you know how that goes when you get in them
Hmm.
situations. I mean, I think it was a lot of that, but I do know one thing: that girl's statement really is the thing that sounds like the most truth, because the kid's statement, they're telling parts of the truth. And she
Right.
said, "Yeah, I remember you saying, get on, you was cussing them out." See, now, first off, what you cussing them out for? You see what I mean? And she said
Hmm.
she never knew nothing about the boat sinking or none of that or nothing's going on. And they said this was really conscious. They said the boat they were taking on water when they seen him at like 3:15 and telling him to come on, but the boat didn't even leave to 4:37. They didn't even. That's
So
what don't make no sense. It's a
the
whole
line
hour.
does not make sense. Yeah.
It's a whole hour. And then they look, they stuck by that timeline, but then United Cajun Navy, they did their thing, and they got the GPS and seen exactly when they left and stuff. But then nobody asked them like, okay, why was you still there for an hour? Why were you rushing him and cussing him out to come on and you still was there for an hour? Nobody's asking them that. But their thing is we were just trying to figure out what's going on with the boat. So at the end of the day, you still did not check on your friend. You didn't see if you ain't see him for an hour and y'all still sitting on the water. When you said, "Man, we're leaving right now. You gotta get on the fucking boat." Woo, 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 yelling at him. And then you still ain't leave for a whole hour. You still ain't seen your friend. How does that work? You feel me? Well, how does that work if you still ain't seen him yet? I mean, that's the part that's very contradicting. Like any friend gonna think to themselves, like, "Dang, I haven't seen him." Like you would still look around and check on him and see if he's ready to go too. You know what I mean?
But picture the boat being in the water and him being close enough so that she heard them yell at him. So it was walking distance. Like, I
Well, look,
don't get the
look.
time frame.
What she's saying is, what she said is, nah. She said it's like she could hear them yelling at him. See, that's why I think it was. They was closer. That's what I'm saying. They're lying about where they was at. They was close in the water. Then they started moving. And see, the GPS shows they was close to that shore, and then they moved off yonder, and they stopped. So they stopped out there in the middle of water, about 30 feet deep. They stopped out there. That's what GPS shows. GPS shows that boat started moving and it stopped right there. It was still on the island when they made that Ceto call. They was still on the island. They wasn't by the by the sea, the shore no more. They was a little bit in the water, and they're like, yeah, we're in 30. You can hear them say we're in like 30, 40 feet of water, and it's so they was out there. If anything, he tried to swim to them because they yelling at him. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And then
Yeah,
you started getting towed off and left him.
but if the boat is that far away from the shore and he jumps in the water to swim and he's having some complications, it seemed like they were all jump in to try and save him or check on him or at least be there with him.
Exactly.
Not if they weren't paying attention and they didn't give a fuck at that
Come
point.
on.
I'm
All of them.
saying, no, I'm saying at that point they was already probably pissed off. See, I think I'm using this as normal knowledge. Like you been telling that nigga come on, and you already having both problems. So fuck him. That nigga, you see what I'm saying? That's what's hurting them right now. Cause they were like, man, yeah, they did. They left. If you even look at, they left him. No matter what you think about it, it don't matter if he said he was staying or not. Because even at 3:15, he said he's staying. You left at 4:30. He probably would have been ready to go. You left him, and there's a reason why you left him. I mean, it's very obvious what was going on. They was pissed off for whatever reasons. There's a couple fights that happened. They took off. They left him. That's it. It's nothing even more than that. They left him.
I get that they left him, but my thing is, it's too many people on that boat for their eyes not to be on him to see that he drowned. And you didn't go back to check on him to see. Somebody
They
eyes had to
they
been on him.
they left him. So why they looking back for him? They left him. You
Cause
see what
it's
I'm
just
saying?
like the girl
They
said.
left him, and he sit up there trying to get to the homies, and they said, "Fuck him."
No, it
He
happened just
didn't.
like the
He
girl
didn't
said.
come as he didn't come as soon as they told him. Well, in their mind, he didn't, because this what Kay said. They say, yeah, he was yelling. They were yelling. He was like, and then he turned back to her and talked to her for like only a matter of seconds, and then he like walked off to go towards them. At that point, they probably just left him and wasn't worried about him no more. That's what it looked like for real.
But somebody's gonna have
That's
one
what's
of
eating
those
them up.
guys had to have their eyes on him to see him struggling. You I get it. I'm mad at you. You
Somebody.
didn't do him,
Oh my
but
bad. Go ahead.
Or or
mhm.
or he caught up with them because how
He
he
tried
wasn't
to.
drowned, remember?
He was
He caught
trying
up with
to. He was
him.
trying to.
Yeah,
And they could
yeah.
have got an they could have got an
Because
argument.
they
He's like, nigga,
did, because
y'all
they
left
ended up
me.
But
Yeah.
what did the Coast Guard
Y'all left
say?
me. Y'all left
But what
me.
did the,
Y'all leave me.
but what did the Coast Guard say? He's not an
Uh
investigator, but his body was what? He
his
went.
body wasn't bloated to float
Yeah, he
back
was dip.
to
Yeah,
to the island. He
alleged
wasn't
after
in
he
it.
was allegedly murdered.
He wasn't under the water long enough for his body
Okay,
to produce a carbon monoxide to float back
exactly. So
on
he
there.
caught
He
up
looked.
with them. Like the girl said, he
Mhm.
turned off and walked
Mm.
and went towards them. He caught up with them.
He caught
And they
up with
probably
them
had
and
a little
probably
scuffle. It probably
got
was an accident.
into probably got
A little
into
act,
it with him
yeah.
because he like, oh, y'all leaving, like y'all tripping, because they was cussing them out. See, this is the thing is like, why are you cussing at them? Don't
Well,
get
I
on the
know
fucking boat. Get on the fucking boat. You know,
I've left a person before because I had to be at a certain place at a certain time, and I was like, "Hey, meet me here at 4 o'clock."
that's a little different. That's not the same.
I understand you, but you ain't leave them to drown.
Yeah, yeah,
They was on
yeah.
solid land. They could
They
walk.
all went 4 boats deep to an island. And look,
So
and
I
you
don't
know
blame
what?
you.
And look
I
this.
need somebody too.
And
But
check this out. Check this out. This look, and I'm gonna show this. This see, man. When I get to going, I'll be getting it going. Look at this. I done did my research. It is against the law to operate a boat and leave anybody on the island straight like that. Look it up. It's against the law. That's why look. It is against the law to leave anybody on an island when you're on a watercraft because they can't get. Come on, man. And it makes sense for it to be against the law. He can't swim back. You feel me? He can't swim back. It's against the law. Look it up. Like, hey, look, Google it right now. Google AI. Say, is it against the law to leave? You see what I'm saying? It's a law that if you're on a boat, everybody got to come back with you that you take out there. We don't care if y'all get in an argument or not because they stranded. You know what I'm saying? They're stranded. You know what I'm saying? Look it up. Look, everybody right now. Look, if you can look at your phone, Google it. I look. It's against the law to operate a watercraft and take somebody to an island and leave them. Doesn't matter if you got art because they're stranded. It's not the same. It's not no bus. It's not. You see what I'm saying? It's not no transit. It's not no laws out there. You cannot leave anybody if you're on a boat on an island. You can't do it. It's against the law. That on a boat, if you're the operator, you have to make sure everybody is on board. And that's what they asked on the sea tow call. They said, is everybody on board? And so he said, yeah, everybody's on board. See, because that's the way they know the law. Cito, that's why they hung up and said disregard the Cito and had somebody told him. Because Cito was asking too many questions. How many people on board? How many people, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? They were like, what? They got angry with Cito. Is everybody in good health? Is everybody that came with you on board? Yeah, everybody. You can't leave nobody on an island.
That's why they used to holler all aboard to
Hmm.
warn the people that hey, we finna take off. But
Right.
on that
You
list,
can
yeah, and it's just
you can't
y'all
intentionally
friends.
leave
So
them.
right.
Right. You can't do it. That's against the law too. So it's a lot of things that was gonna have them boys in a situation, man. And they knew it because they be out there all the time, right? You know what I'm saying? He told you we do this all the time. So who else knows the law better than them? See, they was going through something and they panicked and they knew they shouldn't have left them and they did. And something happened, that's what happens when you leave somebody, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what
Right.
happens when you leave somebody on an island
But
10
you know
miles
something?
from the next. You know what I mean?
It's but all okay, we're gonna say all of them was kids. They teenage or whatever. So even if there was no foul play, the parents should be held liable.
For
Because
letting
why
them
are these children
operate
out
there
here?
and drinking
You
and
do
how
you
they
hear me?
get this drink and all that.
So it
Look
don't
at this.
matter if you say your children innocent, well, you guilty. Either way it go.
Look, it was an
No supervision.
investigator. It was an investigator. I think it was on Nancy Grace show. And she was asking him a question. Do you know what he said? Because he got experience. He said, Look, this is why I said this what making me mad about the case. He said, well, with all my experience, the only thing that I could think of that he probably could have did was, uh, since he's athletic and he's a good swimmer, he probably couldn't find a ride and he tried to swim back home. What? 10 miles?
And been drinking.
And look, we ain't talking about 10 miles to dock. We just talking about 10 miles to get back in the city. Only thing I could like this is what an investigator said. The only thing I could think because they're trying to make the story true, right?
Or at least sound true.
Right. The only thing I could he probably tried to swim, but not that far, man. 10 miles, and that's not even 10 miles to the dock. This is an hour boat drive. Like if he swam 10 miles to Midland, he can get off on and then like probably walk some distance out to the street somewhere. But I'm saying it's further where the boats dock at and stuff. 10 miles is just where he can get closer to the city and he can walk. You know what I'm saying? And walk out possibly in the street and wave for a ride. But that's 10 miles. And this is what the investigator said. I said, come on, man. You think and them kids said they be out there all the time. You said that the only thing you could think of is he probably tried he couldn't get a ride. He probably tried to swim. Probably try to swim to another island or something. Catch it.
So what they saying is he gonna watch four boats leave with 30 people. I'm talking about I can see if it was one boat, two people he over there behind the tree pissing or something. He ain't see it go, but it's 4 boats and a sloop full of people. He ain't see. He's just gonna let them go. Come on now.
And if you believe that he could have caught a ride, who do you thought he could have? Who do you know that was out there he could have catch a ride with? That's the question.
If
You
everybody
know what
would
I'm
leave,
saying? If everybody else in the camp left, who would he catch a ride with? And if that's true, you know who he could have caught a ride with. Who are you protecting? You know, if that's true, you know who he was hanging out with. You see what I'm saying? I'm just getting okay, because you know the situation I'm talking about. Oh, you thought I left, woo woo, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
right?
At the club, whatever, right?
I know. Yeah, I
Okay,
feel that. I'm going
okay,
there. I'm there with
okay. Push come to shove, we know who the hell you was hanging out with when we left. If we did, nigga, you see what I'm saying? We know exactly who you was with, right?
you. True, true.
Ain't no such thing. Oh, I just man, you see what I'm saying? Like we know who you was with. We was with
Right,
you, so we know
right.
who you was with.
We ain't just
Yeah.
leave you on stuck there.
Come
Come on
on,
now.
man. This. He don't even worry. Hide your friends. And those are the worst type of friends. See, those was the bad friends. Those are the worst type of friends you could have. If anything, we already know exactly where the motherfucker was at. You hear me? We go, hey, without a
Oh,
reasonable
oh,
doubt,
oh,
right
I
over
follow
there.
you.
You see what I'm saying? But your friend saying, "Oh shit, oh no," he said, "Go." We don't even know what we ain't even seen him since 3. You ain't even seen him since 3. You left the island at 4:37, and you ain't seen him since 3, and you have no idea of who he. But you said we thought he probably gonna ride with somebody. You don't have no idea who he could have rode with or who he knows out there that he would stay for. Besides this girl. And the girl like, man, hold on, man, don't be put my name in that motherfucker like that. But see, in the original report, this was so crazy. They said they called her some unidentified girl, like they don't know who she is. But now all of a sudden, you know her and you called her and everything.
Right.
But I said, well, we didn't really know exactly, but we was calling around like you said some identified girl. But then again, you said everybody knows everybody. Make that makes I can't
The
we
Nolan
can't we can't make some stuff that don't make no sense make some sense. That's just the whole thing.
Wells
And, and
investigation
we be
into the
trying to do
death
that too
of
much. You
a
hear me? Look, we be trying to do that too much. Be trying to make people be trying to make stuff make sense that don't make any sense.
Right.
Like you said that everybody know, and all of a sudden you don't even know the girl that he said he's gonna stay with. And what friend would not know that?
Right.
What friend cannot identify and show you the girl that you said you left him with? Because if anything, I'm be like, man, I'm gonna ask her what's her name. You know what I'm saying? Because you leaving your friend
Right.
where you like, take good care of my partner too. Like it would have been a good conversation. We would say, hey man, my partner say he gonna stay with you. I hope you gonna give him a ride. Take good care of my partner, right? Ain't that how it work? Or am I
That's
wrong?
how it work. That's how it work.
Yeah, that's my partner. That's my kinfolk, man. Make sure he's straight. He say he gonna stay with you, right? You gonna stay with him, right? You gonna give him a ride? You know what I'm saying? Okay, bet.
But nobody's making it a point. What she said, she turned away and went towards who? Them.
Yeah.
And then what she said?
Yeah, she said, I
Okay, man.
lied to him, and she said, and I have no reason to believe that y'all would have left him. Otherwise, I would have gave the nigga a ride.
Exactly.
Hmm. But let's just blast this real quick. And we gonna get down to the closing moments. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. And I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna talk about this at the end of this.
shining star, Nolan Wells, has an altercation witness emerged. A witness that claims she saw an altercation at Horn Island.
Nancy Grace ran a full episode of Crime Stories on the Nolan Wells case, and a lot came out of it. A woman came forward saying she witnessed an altercation on Horn Island. A forensics expert broke down what the second autopsy did and did not find. A defense attorney explained how Mississippi's grand jury system actually works in a death case, and that explanation changes how you should be reading this entire investigation. There was also a claim going around that the case has been reclassified as criminal, and that claim did not survive the hour. I am going to go through all of it with you. Before I start, 2 things. Nobody has been charged with anything in this case. Not one person. Everyone discussed on that broadcast is a witness, a bystander, or somebody who gave a statement to law enforcement voluntarily. I am not going to name private individuals who have not been charged, and I would ask you not to name them in the comments either. The cause of death has not been released. 2 autopsies have been performed. The state's autopsy is reportedly complete. The findings are not public. So anybody telling you how Nolan Wells died, including anybody on that broadcast and including me, is giving you an opinion and not a finding. Here is what is actually established.
A Nolan Wells phone evidence torpedo.
2 confirmed witnesses that saw Nolan Wells on the island around 6 p.m. The Triton, as you said, left.
And you see all this, right? 2 witnesses said it. I watch how it plays out.
Around 4:30.
What witnesses? Where? Who, what, where, why, and when?
I have not spoken publicly about this before, but I witnessed an altercation involving Nolan Wells from a boat nearby. What I saw has stayed with me, and I believe it's important information. I have provided or intend to provide my account to the appropriate investigators because Nolan's family deserves the truth. Out of respect for the ongoing investigation, I won't speculate beyond what I personally observed. While I was on the boat near the area, I witnessed an altercation involving Nolan Wells and several other individuals. I saw what appeared to be an argument that escalated after there was a dispute involving Nolan's phone. I heard Nolan yelling for his phone to be returned. The argument continued after the group reached shore, and I observed a physical fight involving Nolan and multiple people. I also observed a young woman telling them to stop. At that point, I left the area because the situation had appeared to be getting worse. I did not remain long enough to witness what happened afterward. Everything beyond what I personally observed would be speculation, so I cannot honestly say what occurred after I left. Then she said she messaged one of the individuals that she saw, hey, I just want to say I was a passenger on another boat and I saw the argument between you guys and we'll go to the police with this information. I also have video footage. My husband doesn't show much, but it shows the argument that was taken and how you guys were upset at Nolan because of the young lady.
That from Secret Service Sam on TikTok. Okay, how is this helping the investigation? I'm trying to make sense of so many people
Watch
online
I hope
making
they show
comments.
this.
Now, if this is true, if there is a witness
this,
who has a husband with her on the boat and they took a certain amount of video, it could change everything, especially if the video is time stamped. Straight out to veteran trial lawyer, defense attorney Philip Dubay joining me.
Look at this. And this is is going to upset you. This is what I was talking about. Watch what he says.
He's joining us out of LA, formerly in the public defender's office. They try a ton of cases. Philip, first of all, has she turned it into police? She said she was. If she hasn't, I give her no credibility at all. Look, I want this to be true. Why? Because I want the video. I want to see the timestamp on the video. I want to see, was he still on Horn Island at 4:30 when his acquaintances on the Triton boat left? I want that video. And if she hasn't brought this forward to LE, law enforcement, then it means nothing to me. I mean, if I know a young man turns up dead in the water, and I know there's a controversy surrounding this. I mean, we know she knows that because she's gone online and posted it. Then why not hand it over to police?
Agreed. And it should go to the grand jury for part of.
What? Listen to this dude though. Watch how. Look, this. I was talking to you just about this earlier. Watch what he does. You get obviously see whose side they're on. Watch this.
Their investigation. But I got to tell you, if I were cross-examining her, should this even go to trial, the first question I'd ask her on that 4th of July, what she had been drinking.
Do you hear that? What has he? What has she been? Did you see that? Did you see what he said?
My phone went out. Go back again for me.
Did you
Cause
see what?
I never seen this. Nah.
You didn't see anything about the witness or whatever stating that they see. You didn't see this part.
My screen jumped off.
Short,
No,
and I observed a physical fight involving Nolan and multiple people. I also observed a young woman telling them to stop. At that point, I left the area because the situation had appeared to be getting worse. I did not remain long enough to witness what happened afterward. Everything beyond what I personally observed would be speculation, so I cannot honestly say what occurred after I left. Then she said she messaged one of the individuals that she saw. Hey, I just want to say I was a passenger on another boat and I saw the argument between you guys and we'll go to the police with this information. I also have video footage. My husband doesn't show much, but it shows the argument that was taken and how you guys were upset at Nolan because of the young lady.
That from Secret Service Sam on TikTok. Okay. How is this helping the investigation?
Watch this.
I'm trying to make sense of so many people online making comments. Now, if this is true, if there is a witness who has a husband with her on the boat and they took a certain amount of video, it could change everything, especially if the video is time stamped. Straight out to veteran trial lawyer, defense attorney Philip Dubay joining me. He's joining us out of LA, formerly in the public defender's office. They try a ton of cases. Philip, first of all, has she turned it into police? She said she was. If she hasn't, I give her no credibility at all. Look, I want this to be true. Why? Because I want the video. I want to see the timestamp on the video. I want to see, was he still on Horn Island at 4:30 when his acquaintances on the Triton boat left? I want that video. And if she hasn't brought this forward to LE, law enforcement.
Look, watch. Remember I was talking to you because I was saying, remember I was telling you about how everybody, you could tell who, what sides people are on, right?
Right.
Watch this.
Then it means nothing to me. I mean, if I know a young man turns up dead in the water, and I know there's a controversy surrounding this, I mean, we know she knows that because she's gone online and posted it, then why not hand it over to police?
Agreed. And it should go to the grand jury for part of their investigation. But I got to tell you, if I were cross-examining her, should this even go to trial, the first question I'd ask her on that 4th of July, what she had been drinking.
You see why I paused it there, right?
Right.
Do you hear what he just said?
Right. I heard him. But why?
He would cross-examine. No, I'm saying no. He's saying if a witness came forward saying that they seen something, he gonna cross-examine her and ask her
what she been drinking. Yeah.
What? That's why people don't come, because they know what side is.
But her phone, her video wasn't drinking though, was it? So no matter what she was drinking, if she said she had a,
you gotta cut out.
Why wouldn't that be obstruction for not turning it in, so we can go get this settled?
Well, I mean, that's why I say, like, why would it matter if she's drinking when you are lowering up on the kids that are drunk on film?
Right.
In their story, they're drunk. So if a witness, see, that's the thing, a witness comes forward and you interrogate them. Do you get what I'm saying?
I see.
That's why people don't do, because they know what side to play on.
Right.
That's why motherfuckers get scared to talk, because why would you cross-examine her and you asking for questions and now you're like, oh, you was probably drunk. Did you serve some alcohol? Like you gonna try to take them to jail.
And she's the only one that supposedly has something that can just go ahead and just get everything solved.
Right. It's like you gonna try to take her to jail. Was you drinking with the minors? Did you give them? Are you the person that gave 'em? This is what cross examining. Are you? Did you give any minors? Like, dude, I'm just trying to tell you what I seen. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right. I feel.
You ever notice how you can call the police and you go to jail? That's the very reason why in a black community we don't tell, cause we go to jail. As
And
soon
I've
as you
seen that
say
happen.
your ass going to jail if you come, especially if they against it. You trying to bring some justice, they want to question you about what you was doing, who you was hanging with, was you drinking, do you smoke, do you take care of your kids, do your kids live with you, do you have a job? Do you see what I'm saying? This is
I
the
feel
type
you.
of this is the type of thing that's not necessary for a witness. That's how you now I would think that's obstruction of justice.
Yeah, yeah. Treat me like I've committed the crime that I'm trying to help solve
Were you
or
scaring a
could solve.
witness? Right. If you trying to scare a witness, I would think that's obstruction to justice, right? I mean, ain't that the
Yeah,
reason why people don't be witnesses?
yeah.
Cause you got the person that did wrong to you, better not tell nobody. And then you got a police tell you better not tell nobody. So it's like, what? I'm gonna just leave this alone. Right? Because why would like let me tell you something. If you was trying to find something and somebody came and say, hey, man, I seen you over there when you dropped your people off, and then you went in the store and I seen your people. You didn't even like, and you gonna be like, oh yeah, well shit, what's your name and who you hang out with, and you know what I'm saying?
Right,
I just came to tell you what I seen. You don't
right,
need to know my name, none of that. You don't need to know. Like you interrogating me.
right.
Talking about what she drinking. Everybody was drinking on that island. It's the 4th of July. You got it on video of everybody drinking. Like it's video of all of them drink, even the kids with beers in their hands.
Right.
So why does it matter? You believe the kid's story and you know they was drinking. I would cross examine them. That's why people don't say that. You know what I'm saying? That's why people don't say that.
That's a valid reason though. It's
Yeah.
valid.
That's why. I mean, that's why people because you liable to call the police for a reason, and you gonna go to jail. Like it's no such thing. You call the police, you most. It's a very high probability that you'll go to jail if you call the police because, what they're gonna start doing is looking in your car, looking for see if you have warrants. Right? Think about it. They're gonna check. The first thing they're gonna do before they even come to listen to your story, they're gonna check if you have warrants. I've seen that. I appreciate the information, but you got a warrant, and then they're gonna want to come check your stuff, all that. Or it smells like weed in here. Or, they're gonna do that. That's why our culture don't call the police. Nothing more, nothing less. Your ass go to jail for calling them.
Because it
You know
always
what I'm saying? Give a damn what you talking about. I don't care if you seen this shit at Walmart, whatever. You going to jail. Thanks for the information. And then you got some tickets you need, and you got this and that. And they don't give a fuck if you got to go to work, go pick up your kids, and nothing. So that's what people be looking at. They be valuing that. Like I don't got the time to fuck with the laws because I got shit to do. And that's why
it's true.
a lot of witnesses not gonna come forward because they looking at this like shit. If I come forward, see, look, they trying to save the kids' image so bad, but if you come forward, they're gonna post your name. You said they're gonna post your text, but we ain't seeing all the kids' texts and shit. But you come forward to be a witness, they putting you on blast. Now, ain't that obstruction of justice? I thought they saving everything for the grand jury. How come we see all this other shit? Okay, they're doing an investigation. We can't let y'all see anything they're looking at, but we can see every witness and who they are. They post a Facebook page and stuff that say they seen something. Does that make sense?
Not at all.
We ain't gonna post the kids and stuff, but if you call in, we gonna post your ass. If you call in and say that you think it's foul play, nigga, you going viral. You hear me?
But they always yelling if you see something, say
Make it make sense, man. That's
something.
why people scared because they gonna be all on the internet. She
And then
said,
that's endangering people's
insane.
lives. You know?
Right. That's why people don't tell because you gonna tell the nigga that you telling on you gonna tell him that you did it. You see the post that they showing this woman's post.
Yeah,
They're showing posts, but they won't show nothing that from the kids.
right,
Nothing that shows it's gonna be blurred out. Nothing, but they'll show if you come right now, they're gonna put you all on TMZ. Yeah, they're gonna damn near tell you. Yeah, she stays right over there by the Waterburger. We're gonna, yeah, yeah, we got witness. That doesn't even make any sense. I thought witnesses are protected,
that part.
but obviously in this situation, they're not. And you know what? As much as I love going live, because I know it's gonna get lit soon, But
Yeah, because
look,
I would love for the people I go through and read each one of them because because you can't make sense. They can make sense of what the friend said and what the attorney said. Their attorney saying, please put it in the comments. I want to read. I want because I can't make sense of it.
I thought the witnesses are protected.
I
But
thought they were
see, remember
protected.
I told you how the game go. Look, the witnesses are the guilty. Well, they're the enemies. Anybody that's got information that's leading a foul play, your ass gonna be judged and
Right,
tried. Because we already believe we're trying to make this an open and shut case. And nobody did any wrongdoing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
right,
you dare say that you seen something, we finna air you out. That's what they doing. They're gonna air you out. This woman whole text messages online.
right. That's
I thought
crazy.
you would say that for the grand jury, right?
Right.
But obviously they won't.
Before that video got activated, everybody
Oh,
would want to
please
what
put
if
him up.
Look, you see how like deep they were searching for
Then
his
why
body
not hand
across
it
that
over to
water.
police?
You know what I'm saying?
agreed, and it should go to the grand jury for part of their investigation. But I got to tell you, if I were cross-examining her, should this even go to trial, the first question I'd ask her on that 4th of July, what she had been drinking. Before that video got activated, everybody
Oh,
would want to
please
what
put
if
him up.
drinking
Put him
and
up.
smoking. You know how many people were
Okay,
partying out?
man. Have you lost your mind?
Mm-hmm.
You defend criminal cases. I bet everybody you put on the stand has either been high, drunk, or worse during the altercation. Well, every witness is not a nun, a priest, or a virgin. Everybody on Horn Island was drinking, man. What are you talking about?
That's why I like Nancy Grace. You hear me? She do
Yeah, she
not
gonna
bull.
fire their ass
She
up.
do not play. Said, what are you tired about a whole lot of drinking, man? What are you? It's a party. Stop.
I
But
don't care if
wouldn't
she took a drink. I want the video.
Right.
you want the truth?
Exactly.
Is what you want. You want the truth. And let's
Yeah,
be
and that
clear.
would be the video.
Remember, Nancy,
Okay.
he is not consistent with
Brandon
the end.
Tatum is joining us.
I
So
love it.
after
And
all
this
that,
is a
all you have to say,
sellout. This dude right here, he's making a living off of like trying to be, you know what I'm saying? This Tatum dude, right? He is on the team with the kids. He's the first person to interview. He's blowing up because he got. He said they reached out to him to interview. Him. Like he's giving them, this dude right here. Look at him. He's they call him an Uncle Tom. Like this dude right here. It's All he does is talk about black people don't like me and black, but he's doing it for views, of course. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he needs 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, I mean he got his coins off of anti-racist. Well, white people love us. He's been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? And
It's
this is his
crazy.
thing. That's what he does, and he loves it. But oh well, here we go.
Hey, was she drinking? That's your takeaway from that? Joining me is Brandon Tatum, former police officer, Tucson, now star of The Officer Tatum on YouTube, who famously has interviewed the acquaintances who all say they had nothing to do with it. Let's just put that out there. He's interviewed them extensively. I want to talk about not what you want to talk about, Brandon Tatum, which is they had nothing to do with this, because I met them and I believe them. So noted. Can we talk about a potential witness to an altercation? And she seems to suggest it was over Katie. Why?
No, you
Don't know
can't
what
talk
the
about it.
altercation was.
You can't talk
Maybe it
about
was, hey, leave her alone and get on the boat, or leave her alone. She's my girlfriend, or it could be anything. But if there is a witness placing Nolan seemingly in the water, I can't tell that, but having an argument with another person, a partier at Horn Island, that is significant. It could prove or disprove your friend's timeline.
Well, Nancy, I think that it's a big obstacle to climb here because I've never heard of this altercation whatsoever. Nobody that
He
I've talked
lied.
to
He
have
has heard
alluded
of
that
the
this
altercation.
altercation was real. And
He
also
lied.
Katie, whom I saw her text messages, she didn't even say this altercation occurred. What I will say is that if I was an investigator in this investigation, I want to hear that. I want to be able to compare that information to other things that we may have or other witness statements. But I don't think it's significant because it doesn't show if Nolan Wells was actually killed in that altercation. She's claiming that there was an altercation between him arguing with somebody else. There was a potential fight, but that doesn't get me to how did he drown? How did he get in the water? And how did he not recover and come home to his family? So I would
What are you
take
trying
that
to
into
get to, you
consideration. I would
dumbass
compare that
nigga?
to the other interviews that I've done, but I don't think it's significant whatsoever. However, I would be incredibly skeptical because there's no other statements that I've heard from anybody that comes even close to an altercation with Nolan Wells and others over a girl.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Number one,
he's on the side. He's the one that interviewed.
he's dead
He's on there
shortly after
for sure.
an alleged altercation
This is
with
only
another
told.
male. We think over a woman. See, in my world, I put together both circumstantial and direct evidence. Direct evidence would be, for instance, DNA or a fingerprint. Circumstantial evidence is the timing of the alleged altercation and his death. Right?
Nancy,
So
but Nancy,
it's hard for
it
me to
doesn't.
believe that there's
But
some
but
kind of
but 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 but,
altercation
but,
on
but
Horn Island just before he dies, and they were
But
not
Nancy,
connected. That's hard for me
she's
to
not.
believe that.
Well, Nancy, she's not saying he lost the fight. She's not saying that he got
look,
beat
look,
up.
look, look,
If
look.
you look at the autopsy, there's no clear signs of blunt force
No,
trauma.
hold on. Do you hear that? Let me pause it for a second. I don't want people to think about this. Do you hear what he said?
I heard him.
She said it was a
Sound
fight,
like a damn fool.
but she didn't say he lost it. So how do we know? Because what if he won it and he could have killed some people that night? It still might be some bodies we can look. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking
Right.
about? But she didn't say he lost it. This is what
And the
I'm
thing
talking
to
about.
me is they doing all this and at the same time, right, wrong, just go ahead and spit things and get shit and not just just get it over with and let these people rest. And
I'm saying, look, I mean, you seeing this for yourself. What I was telling you about at this point, right?
yeah,
Look what he said. He said, but
I heard him.
that don't mean he lost the fight. So man, I told you they said, well, if they find markings on his neck, they say, man, he probably was in a rage and choked himself. We don't know that he didn't choke himself, right?
Right.
Because sometimes when people are drinking, they get mad and injure themselves. We look, It'll go so far they'll say, how do we know he didn't jump on a rock because he was mad and hurt himself? This is how far, you know what I'm saying? It could be, they can show him injured, and they're gonna say, well, how we don't know he didn't self-inflict himself. You feel me?
Okay.
Stay with me. Look, you see what I'm saying? Watch, you finna see some more fuckery in a second. Stay with me. Look, because this is the thing I'm talking about. Like now, at this point, we know we're getting played with, right? We know that this is a joke. It's like you're making a whole mockery out of it.
A
Talking about,
mockery. Yeah, exactly.
oh, she didn't say he lost the fight, though. Now, okay, now if she said that he lost the fight, that's different. Even look at this. If he won a fight, that would even be more ground to say if he stayed there, something happened to him. If he won a fight, right?
Right.
If he beat up somebody and stayed there, they could have, you see what I'm saying, grouped up. Do you get what I'm saying? And see him
I
by
get.
himself. So nobody's thinking logically or street or anything. Like if he won the fight and stayed there, that's not good either. Remember I was telling you about the other situation. When you got beef, nigga, you think you tough, right?
Right.
If Nolan was over there slanging dudes and stayed there by himself, that would be more grounds to be like something probably happened then, right?
It sounds justified to me.
Make it seem like if
It
you
makes sense.
stayed there, and you sitting right there, sitting duck, drunk, and you done smashed and beat up people and hurt people, and all them people done left and came back, got you see what I'm saying, and came back, you should that would make more sense than anything. He talking
Yeah.
about she didn't say he lost the fight. All right, we gonna keep going. Right, this is finna make. Hold on, I'm gonna hold it because I see some more people coming in, some more people joining and stuff. Hold on, I'm finna look. This is it's gonna make you angry. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not, you gotta be not angry. This dude, he got the nerve to say black people mad at me, but in real, it's not black people mad at you, bro. It's half the content mad at you. It's only the black people just call you a sellout. They don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of white folks that's saying this dude is a clown. He's still pushing the race. He's pushing the racial issue. Because if you look at all his videos, it's all about black people this and black people that. He's one of them. You see what I'm saying?
That's yeah.
All his
All the
videos be
time.
talking about black people are mad at me because I told them to stop eating KFC. Black people, that was some funny shit, right? Making a mockery out of it. Black people, I told to stop eating Popeyes, and they're mad. This is what he does. But oh well.
to his face or any of the vital areas that could kill him. So it doesn't appear that there's any indication that he lost a fight, that there was enough trauma in.
You see that? They said this is a bread discoloring in the back of his head right there. That's what the second. That's the only thing the second autopsy can come up with because the neck and everything was missing. But I did see
Oh,
this part. Yep. Yeah. So they didn't they didn't give them the neck and stuff. And they said well because they were examining. Maybe I mean that's what the excuses is because they were still examining. But why are you still examining the neck?
right.
And also Now I done got deeper into this. Now the regular way to, and I done talked to somebody that's medical examiner. Well, drowning, they look for the indefinite things. What they see is the water in the lungs and the
In the lungs,
foam
yeah.
on the mouth and all that. And they say
Yeah.
uh, the only reason why they would do that if they didn't find indefinite signs of drowning. Now they have to
Right.
take the neck and stuff to see. You see what I'm saying? And that's the question. Why did they have the neck for so long? Because generally it's indefinite if drowning. It's cut clear dry. You don't need to take the neck.
Right. Because the
You see
lungs
what I'm
will be
saying?
filled. Yeah,
Lungs
the
will be
lungs will be
filled.
filled with
It'll
water.
be foam all
Yeah.
through the nasal cavities and everything. You don't need the
Right.
neck.
Right.
And you can look it up right now. It says whenever there's not a clear, distinct sign of drowning, that's when they take the neck and other parts and they
Right.
run it through a thing. So let's make it make sense. Now, also, if you understand how this works, is another thing. It's the other side. They take those things, so if you try to get an independent autopsy, you can't see the proof of what
Mm-hmm.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
Also, see, it's another reason why they take organs because they take the things that show the
Mm-hmm.
signs
Mm-hmm.
of foul play.
Right. And the cause of death is there. It is right there.
Right. They take the cause of because who knows? You might try to get you can get an independent autopsy years later and you can get it, but if it's not there, you can't prove the cause of
Everything needs to
death.
be intact. Right.
Kendrick Johnson is a great example. They remove the organs because they can sell them and all that, but also without the organs, you cannot legally prove the cause of death.
Right.
So when Aunt Viv and them from Fresh Prince of Bel Air and all them see Ben Crump and learn when all them activists and stuff put all that money for Kendrick Johnson, got his body back, and
Mm-hmm.
all them organs is missing, you don't have what you need to prove. But one thing they did say, they seen that same look at this. Oh my God. This is look, this okay, so in Kendrick Johnson's case, his organs was missing. But okay, you see right there on Nolan's that red
Mm-hmm.
spot that's showing, they said that's behind the head. That's on
Mm-hmm.
the internal tissue.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendrick Johnson, they had the organs, but they said it was red blood clots in his chest tissue, which matches the fact that somebody said that the kids said they hit him in the chest with a barbell. And it does show him walking towards the gym in the video at the school. And but only thing is with that, they said it was a couple spots
Yeah, the splatter or
yeah,
whatever.
in his chest tissue. So they
Oh.
know for sure. But it's just like this
Mm-hmm.
behind the, you know what I'm saying, like because they took his organs. Like when they went, Aunt Ville from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, her they activists that they paid to do a second autopsy on him, and when they got the body, they didn't have no organs. And the person they pays did a deep tissue thing, and they seen spots in the tissue in his chest, which they said blood. So what Kendrick Johnson case is, they out of all this they said, well, look, this is what they said. I mean, and they said it's obvious he was murdered, right? But we don't have enough evidence to convict anybody. Like they had admitted that Kendrick Johnson, because you remember that's the kid they found rolled up in the gym mat upside down. They said he was running up.
Right.
Hey, nigga, you lying? He can't fit through that hole. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole school. You try look. They already did a scientific. The hole you roll up, the hole is not big enough for him to fall through. He's a big kid with broad shoulders. He can't fall through a hole of a wrapped up gym mat that's standing upwards. That doesn't make any sense.
No way you look at it. No kind of way.
And then, and look, that's why, man, I'll show you that Finding Kendrick Johnson. God, but because it's the higher ups that push that narrative. The kids that were interviewing the kids, and that's why they showed it because they said, man, nobody don't run on no gym mats, man. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't run on. What are you talking about? Run on gym mats. Kendrick Johnson was running on top of gym mats, and Nolan Wells decided to stay at an island by himself and party alone. Look at this.
Mhm.
And he had a major tryout to you see what I'm saying, to go to some bigger and better things. And the coach
Right,
said,
be somebody.
yeah, the coach said, I was talking to him earlier. He was hyped about, the tryouts, and he's very prospect. Like he could be playing, like, but he decided because 2 days. So on this, on I guess on what the sixth, 2 or 3 days. That's the same day he's supposed to be doing his tryouts, but he decided to stay at the island by himself.
Right. Right. Right.
And Kendrick Johnson decided not to go to the big football game that he's in and decided to go run on top of gym mats after hours at the school.
And take out his own organs out and stuff, I guess.
Yep. He decided, look, he didn't show up to the game. He decided to go run on top of gym mats. But see what the truth is, he was meeting up with old boy Rick and them before the game in the gym and they hit him with it. Yeah, and he never made it to the game. And then they found him in gym mats later because the fucking gym was smelling.
And it's just crazy how they just trying to do all this cover up for these kids. These are children. And if a white kid or another black, it don't matter who killed them, they was killed. And you calling this whole country in a world of confusion over a child's death.
Right.
And it's all senseless stuff just stupid, just off the wall stuff that they trying to make America believe. Like you said, he run up a gym. Who does
Because
that?
because how dare you show that America ain't as that great as they say it is? How dare you show that these people are not honorable and they are not humans and they don't get mad and they don't have violence in them? How dare you do that? You know what I'm saying? How dare you say that these people don't get upset and make wrong decisions?
Right.
You know what I'm
And if they
saying?
do, they don't have to pay for it.
Right. Listen, with Kendrick Johnson, it's already been proven he was murdered in a school. But it's not enough evidence to arrest anybody. Now, we're not going to go through this again. We said, it's not enough evidence
Right.
to arrest anybody. Now, with Kendrick Johnson case, the dude that he was into it with that did it, his dad's a retired FBI.
Yeah.
hmm Facts. When you watch Finding Kendrick Johnson, it was kids that was interviewed and they said they was scared because they said Rick's dad was coming up to everybody and saying like some crazy shit. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Like we would watch, we sit up here and watch this on my channel. Hey, Isabel, you remember? Look, Isabel, she said you remember that man. And she about we sit up there and watch it. I paid for it. I paid for us to go behind the stage and watch it. Like 40 of us and watch. They said, "Oh my god!" And they had real. This is real. This is not even made up.
Right.
They showed the interviews because they was able to go get them interviews and everything and post them. And the kids were scared. They were like, a couple of kids said, "Yeah, we just because we, was intimidated. Rick's dad, and they were like trying those interviews that they suppressed. They pulled them out the archives. They pulled
Yeah.
footage out the archives and showed Rick following behind Kendrick, like Kendrick, like, come on, nigga, let's go fight. Walking
Right.
right behind him. And then all of a sudden, it's no more footage. And then later on, it goes back like 3 hours past, and you just see other kids playing basketball. Like it cuts. And they try to say, well, it does that sometimes. You know the same shit they're doing right now. Footage sometimes there is, internet lag and whatever.
But it's all at the time of death.
Yep, right when it happened, right when he was walking into that gym. So when you walk past the gym, you go in the gym, you walk past it, and you walk past the basketball court, then you get back to where the football players at in the weight room is. Right when he
Right.
was walking into that gym, all the footage stopped, and you can see Rick behind him, following right behind him. Like he said, "Come on." But the thing is, Kendrick said that Rick dad at many events told him, "You gotta fight my son again." Not only did he say that, he said his dad, Kendrick's dad, said that Kendrick called him. His dad trotted out his on the road and said that Rick is dad. He said, "We're at the game, right?" He said, "I felt somebody staring at me. And I look over and it's Rick and his dad. And at the game, they came up to me and he told me that I need to." The dad said that he needs to come to his house and fight his son again, because uh, Kendrick beat up Rick on the school bus on the way to a game. Beat him up for real.
Hmm.
hmm And when his dad got word of that, his dad came to a game and walked up to Kendrick and said, I heard you said, but you gotta fight my boy. And invited Kendrick to come to his house and fight him. Kendrick said, man, I ain't finna come to your house. And he was like, well, whatever, either way, you're gonna end up having to fight him again. And then Kendrick dad told me, you need to be careful. When I get back, he said, well, I ain't scared of him. I already whooped him anyway. So when you see him going into the gym, you like, yeah, come on, nigga, I'm finna whoop your ass again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But but a witness said that he hit him with a barbell. And there you have it. You say this cover up shit, all of that is real. I mean, it ain't nothing new under the sun anyway. But that's either here or there at this point. It's just about how many wolves or whatever blankets you let a person cover over your head, so you ain't
Right.
aware what's going on
If you
out
want to
this
wool over your
motherfucker.
eyes, I ain't lying.
Yeah, yeah. You want to walk around like you privileged. We can't walk around. Some of us do. Try to walk around like we privileged and shit. We ain't that damn privileged. Cause you know damn well if some shit don't go the way that it's supposed to go for them, it ain't gonna go right for you.
I ain't lying. That's the truth.
And
Because
right,
one is only one way that's right. You know which way that
right,
is.
yeah. Look, it's different sides. It's
Hmm.
innocent to proven guilty. It's always that's a privilege, right? They say
Hmm.
that's the law, right? But you're
Right.
privileged to be innocent and be proven guilty. Then you also got the side where majority people is on guilty
Right.
until proven innocent. You
Right.
already guilty because you see what I'm saying? You already guilty.
And you know what the crazy part is? The innocent until proven guilty, I always stay behind bars until they proven guilty. But the guilty until proven innocent,
hmm
they don't even get locked the fuck up.
Mm.
Hmm.
You said the guilty to prove innocent, they don't get locked up.
They
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
oh yeah, okay,
But
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. I
innocent
get
until
that.
proven
Yeah, yeah.
guilty,
He said
yeah,
that it
you
was
innocent.
no. I said no. The people that really did it, that really people that's really innocent, they be locked up, and the people that's really guilty, they don't never be behind bars
Right.
until to somebody until they tell on themselves. So they get, some people they wait 30 years and they write a book and say, hey, fuck it, man, I feel bad. I should do, and they still might
Hmm.
not do that much damn time. Yeah, the people that's really guilty
Right. The people
don't
that
go
go
to
run and get
jail.
like Trump lawyers and stuff, you know what I'm talking
Mm,
about? Or
yeah,
they
the
can
one
afford
that's
their time.
really guilty. But
Right.
it's about the terminology is before the words they use is before anybody is tried. That when they say innocent to proven guilty, that's supposed to be before you're judged. You know what I'm saying? Like it's supposed to be
Exactly.
before you're judged, but you're right. The ones that when you using that language, yeah, the ones that's really are the guilty before we judge them, we know they guilty. Them motherfuckers don't never go to jail. And the ones that's really innocent that you can tell before they see a judge and all that, when you can tell they're innocent, they already in jail.
Right.
Like, cause we can know they innocent. And I thought before you get judged, you're innocent before good. But the one we know they innocent, they already in jail. You see what I mean?
I feel you.
They didn't even get judged. They didn't even get to see a judge or they already in jail. And we know
Right.
they're
That's
in
what I'm saying. If I'm innocent until I'm proven guilty, why the hell I'm still locked up? Like I'm guilty. Yeah, I'm locked up like I'm guilty. Nigga, let me out. Shit. But that's just
right.
the way that's the way it comes when it comes to certain people.
Right. So because you know why?
What's that?
Because the guilty have connections that ain't know how not to go to jail.
Facts.
They locked in. They're the kids because at the end of the day, I see why the kids getting lawyers because they know there's several things they can go to jail for.
Right.
That's just a fact. There's several things. For one, they're drinking and somebody got all that. And
Mhm.
y'all probably gave it. And your homeboy Bart, that's 21. He probably bought the drink for you. I mean, come on, man. Y'all came together. There's only one person that's 21 years old, and he brought two boats. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he got the drink. So he can go to jail. You see what I'm saying? He can go to jail for this. They only got one person that's 21 years old. And then that's why he lied on us. He told us nobody over, well, he says nobody over 21. Well, Bart is 21 and he brought two boats that they all own. And he the one that most likely brought the drink. I mean, the younger
Hmm.
ones could have got it, but he's the oldest one. He's an adult.
Right.
He can go to jail. All of them can get a charge. You know what I'm saying? If the shit weighed out the way it is, they could all get a charge. But they're not trying to get nothing. They're trying to go back to school and live a happy life. But at the end of the day, what's crazy about it, and
What's
whether
that?
they did it or not, what's sad, they're never gonna be able to just go back to their regular lives. This shit
That's
is
what I was
ratchet.
saying earlier.
Them
Yeah,
motherfucker doing all this. You not gonna be able to go back to the regular lives in Mississippi.
and then not only that, they're not gonna be able to go back to their regular lives in a mental form. And that's
Mhm.
what causes extra criminal activity. That's what I'm saying. They're doing more harm than good. You're trying to
Right.
uphold them and they wrong. Now you're causing drug use, mental health, suicidal thoughts, or the actual act of suicide. It's just like so many factors that leads to not doing the right thing.
Right, because all this smear campaign they're doing only stops them from going to jail, but it don't stop them
Right.
from reality.
And I'm
Cause the
telling you, the
cause the
party's gonna hit
government
hard.
and Trump lawyer can't be around you all the time.
Right. No thanks.
But it is what it is. And we going and look at this. I feel like America is not ready to expose the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna call a spade a spade. No, well, what I'm gonna say is they might not get no criminal charges, but they're gonna win some M's civil charges. They're gonna sue. Another well mom gonna get like 200 million, but nobody
Right.
gonna go to jail. You know how that goes, right? I mean, they're
Right.
not ready to expose this hand,
No justice.
but they're gonna pay though. They're gonna pay. You know what I mean? They're gonna pay. They're
Right.
gonna pay
Yeah.
money. They're gonna pay money.
Yeah. Right.
Civil. They're gonna pay the civil court, and this investigator is gonna expose some shit. But they ain't ready to lock up. No, but they ain't ready to do that. They're not gonna do that. You see what I'm saying? But
Right.
the his mom definitely gonna win a wrongful death charge against the city, against the rich white folks, everything. She already a millionaire right now at this point.
I
Hopefully,
just hope they go ahead
hopefully
and
she
get the
used some of that money to fight for justice. You feel me?
right.
Because the same money that people donated was the same money that she got to use to fight for justice for her son. You know what I'm saying? Because if it
I
wasn't
feel
for the money,
oh shit.
this shit would have been over with.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
LeBron James, you know, people, Tyler Perry, everybody, you know, Colin Kaepernick paid for the yeah. They put some money on this to try to seek justice. You hear
I'm
what I
here.
said though?
I'm here.
Colin Kaepernick, Tyler Perry, LeBron, that they all put money on this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Al Sharpton you said all of them put money on this for justice. If it wasn't for that money, we wouldn't even be talking about this case. It would have just been a mere drowning. It'd be
Yeah.
over with. And that's the sad fact about it. The sad fact. So remember how I was telling you money don't really mean as much as only about who will do?
Mhm.
You think the white boys paid Trump lawyer 500,000? Nope. He came in
No
just
sir.
off the rip. You know how we do it off the rip. You can't. My homeboy do it for me off the rip. You paying him. So you see what I'm saying to do the things, but we do it off the rip. You know what I'm saying? This is what connections mean. You know, the white boys instantly drop no 500,000 each. You know what I'm saying? None of that. It don't even show. It's not even documented. Nobody knows how they got them lawyers.
Right.
Like you know,
Sound like
so
it
so
came from
so
higher up, allegedly.
yeah, you know,
Shit.
lawyers can take. They will take it on. What's the word I'm looking for? That they'll just go ahead and
Quit
take the
pro
case.
quit pro you know what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say. Yeah,
just because it's gonna help their
quit pro
image and
quo.
shit.
Quid
Right.
pro quo.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Like I
Mm.
do claims. It's like a doctor. If you know the doctor, it's a difference between. I know the dude like I don't know he got woo woo whatever, and his primary care doctor clip his toenails every 6 months or whatever, right? Don't say nothing. Don't bill us or nothing, right? He
Right.
seen a new doctor. That nigga billed us $500 for clipping his toenails. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
You see what
True.
I'm saying? That's the difference. His people, he retired or whatever. He don't charge you. You know what I'm saying? We don't charge. It's the difference between a person will come change your alternator for a beer that you know, and then another person will charge you $800.
Right.
Them the kids had to pay for nothing for these big dogs to come rock with them. That's why money don't mean nothing because this situation gonna create them. That's why they doing it. This
Yeah.
situation gonna create them a lot of money. You
Right.
have to spend nothing because it's gonna create it. That's why I say money. In reality, it don't mean much because you can do. There's a lot of things that you can do that could cost 5 million that don't even cost them but 50 cents. It only costs a phone call. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a infamous phone call that generated, and it's just a phone call. You see what I mean? Like a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
things that happen that make money don't require much motion or action or energy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So how does it money mean? Because it's certain people that did this with a lot of money, and certain people that did it just by knowing somebody. That is what it is.
That's true.
That's why I say